Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High, Ahaya has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I like to title this video, This Is It. And the reason why I'm calling this video, This Is It, is because I thought about Michael Jackson last video. Excuse me. And they titled it, This Is It. I want to come in a parable along with some word. The parable is likened to Michael Jackson last video, This Is It. That is what was going on and taking place when I uploaded a video a few days ago, and it lasted for 3 hours. And it covered so much. It reminded me of, as a young girl, how the Most High, Ahaya, was giving me so much information and revealing things to me. And I was just overwhelmed with all the information he was giving me as a young person, then as a teenager, then as a young adult, as a mother with one child, as a mother with many children. And the Father in heaven always instilled in me so deep down in my spirit so much information, to where I realized when I spoke of what took place before the foundation of the world and the issues of being set free, the liberty that has been spoken about in the biblical book, and how the Father is saying that you are free. A lot of people can't even teach it. They won't preach it. They won't minister it. They won't surround that topic. Is because they do not want you free. And I'm fine with that, because like I said, this is it. The parable is Michael Jackson was passed away, and they titled the last video that he was recording regarding his trip to it was his rehearsal for his trip to London, his last trip. His last trip to London, and his last show. Okay, so when I received that CD and it said, This Is It, I'm like, what do they mean, this is it? You all, I think I watched that video at least 15 times. I went that night, I watched it for about 3 or 4 times, woke up that morning, watched it over again. And the reason why is because the video was given to me, and when something come to me that I'm not interested in, and I'm like, I'm not a fan of Michael Jackson, I don't deal with Michael Jackson, I never listen to his music, why is it this individual give me this brand new, never was open, this video, this CD, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna watch it. But when I did, it was something about it that captured me. I began to see behind scene, and I began to hear behind hearing. And it leads me to this message today. Now, this was probably maybe a year ago, maybe not quite a year ago. But I titled this message, "This Is It," because when I upload that video that I uploaded a few days ago, and it was 3 hours, I wished I could have put on there and titled that video, "This Is It." Because after listening over and over and seeing and hearing over and over Michael Jackson a CD, I was very saddened, but it brought a lot of revelation to how a system has taken out people throughout time, and how they have gotten away with it, and how not a voice speak up on his behalf. Not his mother, not his father, not his sister, not his brother. No one speaks up on his behalf. He just come and he goes, and the world gets silent after a year or so. You see? And me watching his video, it did something to me, because what it did was, first of all, the Spirit of the Most High allowed me to be able to hear behind hearing. And what I heard was a young man that was here that was sending so many messages to us, and we missed it. We missed it. We always missing it. What does that have to do with the video that I upload a few days ago? That's 3 hours. You missed it. You don't always miss it. But the problem is going to occur is when the fire is kindled high, up as high as it can get, people are going to be running to and fro, trying to make some sense of everything. Because they're going to say, I see, but the Father said they cannot see. They're going to say, I hear, but the Father said they cannot hear. Just as they missed it regarding Michael Jackson whole overall. If I could write a book on what I was able to discern in his last video, it would blow people's minds. But then again, it might not, because a lot of those who were really involved in his death, they know what took place. They know what they did. And something in me was explaining to me, even his family knew the truth of the matter behind it. I mean, that's what made me keep watching this. What made me glued to the TV up until like 3 in the morning, watching this thing over and over, is because I was reading behind what it was saying. You know, I was able to discern what was going on, what was taking place, why he made this song and why he made this song. I mean, it was like I was glued to every step that he was taking, how he moved his hand, how he shook his head. It's just, to me, everything had a meaning. It had a reason behind it. It had a word behind it. So after I got to the point where I said, okay, I've seen it 15 times. I got all I needed to get out of it, because I got a great deal of sorrow. Okay, a great deal of sorrow, because a lot of things that happened to him from the time he was a little boy, and how his dad pretty much sold him out. Mom was fully aware of it, and they sold him out just like they have done many people. And it's the way they do it is not just Negroes. They do it to many people. They always doing it. It's something in them that causes them to do the things that they are doing. So what do Michael Jackson has to do with the video I uploaded that was 3 hours? Was This Is It. They titled Michael Jackson last video This Is It. He didn't title that. I believe they did that, knowing that was going to be it for him. They knew it was going to be it for him. And I'm saying that in a sense of a parable, because understanding why Yeshua gave the multitude parables and understanding why he gave the apostles the word has so much power in the difference between the parables and the word. So I call this being a parable as to try to set before one Michael Jackson situation, because it's a parable setting for what I'm about to speak on as far as the word. Okay, his was, he died. When I titled that 3-hour message, I said died. And the reason why I put that there is because that's it, you guys. The Spirit of the Most High said, Deborah, I told you, you can take the keys, you can unlock the door, you can step in the door, you can teach this thing, and you can preach this thing. But except I give them eyes to see and ears to hear, and they have my understanding resting in them, they still cannot see, they still cannot hear, nor will they understand. But the blessing came in was allowing me to put it out there with what he has given me since I was a little girl. You see, these are information, this was information he had given me before I was even able to read a Bible. So that is even a part of informing people that a lot of the stuff that's going on and being said is to keep you in captivity in your spirit. See, a lot of them want to preach about you being in captivity in this country, or you being in bondage in this country. Baby, there is a greater captivity than the captivity of your flesh. Your spirit is in captivity when it has no food, no spirit and truth, no light. Why? Because it leads you to the lake of fire, and you don't even know that. You see, a lot of people thinking, oh, when we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Oh yeah, you gonna cross a bridge. No, you ain't gonna cross the bridge. You just gonna get to the bridge, but ain't gonna be no crossing over. You see what I'm saying? So Michael Jackson's situation where he says, this is it. That is how I feel now. This is it. I took the keys. I opened the door for him, Father Yah. I opened the door wide. I made it so plain that a kindergarten can comprehend it. He is not finna send you his right hand and his glory and his power down to reveal more things to you all. Like he told the rich man in hell. You think for 1 minute I'm going to let you come from hell to warn your people? If they don't listen to what I have, that's on them. I have Abraham and I have Moses. If they don't listen to them, that's on them. And that's how a higher rumbles. And people don't know that. He is not, where we're at today, he is not in the position, and nor will he be. So people are making a higher their own personal father. When I said that is in their own fleshly mindset. He's like this, he like this. Oh no, he'll do that. Oh, he's good, and he you know what? He's beyond what you call good. Because good can't be evil, in case y'all didn't know that. They hold hands in hand. In the Garden of Eve, what was good? Connected with evil. In the Garden of Evil. And in the Garden of Eve, the tree of good and evil was connected. You see? So a lot of people saying, well, he's this and he's that. I see him to be. Okay, you keep seeing him to be that. Let it keep being what I'm seeing it is today in this world. Today, waiting to go live, I seen 15 Negro men and women doing crime beyond understanding. I mean, the killing that they have done is beyond understanding. And that's where it's at, and that's what Ahia is going to give you. So if you're thinking that he's going to come down and give you the light, he's going to give you something different. That's why Sister Deborah said, I ain't looking for nobody to come. I ain't looking for Ahia to come to get me out of this and get me out of that. He already done it for me. I can't ask for no more than what he already done, because he allowed me to get to know who he is. He has shown me who he is, and he allowed me to understand where he rests in me. He allowed me to understand the fullness of what took place before the foundation of the world, so that today in the year 2022, I won't be running around here playing some sort of game with men and women and their worldly way of trying to worship him. I don't have to do that. And I'm not looking for him to come down to save us here, to get us out of here. Why? Because when he said Deuteronomy, I salute you, Father Yah. I salute the end game. Any and everything he have orchestrated, and he have said to me since I was a young girl, and he have taught me what took place before the foundation of the world. I'm going to stand tall on that. Like I told my children, I'm going to die with that in my bosom. I'm not going to sit and play games with people trying to give people what their ears want to hear and what their flesh want to know. Leave that for the clowns. There's many clowns on the devil platform. It's many people who with clown clothes and are clowning on this devil platform. So deal with them, because they're the one that needs to give you what you need in your flesh. Sister Deborah would like to say, this is it. Only thing I'm going to be saying is what he has given me all these years. I really didn't think I would even live, y'all. Let me tell you my ideal of it. My ideal of it was that I would die. I would die. I didn't think I would reach the age that I am today, 61. I didn't think I would reach that age. You know why? I knew when I was young, a teenager, a young adult coming up, that this individual that was speaking to me was God himself. And the things that he was giving me, guess what? I wasn't seeing. I wasn't seeing it happen. I wasn't seeing it before me. I knew he had given it to me, and I still remember it, but I wasn't seeing it. But here I am today. Not a dead prophetess, but a living one that have seen it, which was put in me years ago, see it come to pass, and still watching it as it totally unfolds. So what do? I go set it up to give the people what he has been giving me, what he has given me. And he told me it was okay. But when it all said and done, just like you just told him, I ain't coming down. I ain't sending another one, and they won't find it in scriptures. And it's the truth. You won't go to no Bible and look in there and see where he says, in the end days, he's going to send you some help. In the end days, he's going to send this and this. Even the two prophets that's coming, they're not going to step a foot in this here United States. They're going to be over in another country. But he told you what they coming. And they coming with power. Okay? So they coming to show up and show out. Okay? What else did he say? Go to Revelation. See if you can find he coming to bring you here and do this and do that. No. We have not completed the curse yet. And nobody's saying a word about it. We still in the land of our oppressor, and nobody's saying a word about it. You know why? Because everybody is content with the lies and being deceived, instead of wanting to understand, wait a minute, Yeshua, Ahia, the apostles, they all spoke of being free. They all spoke of being the ideal of liberty. So what are we in if we still in captivity? What are they speaking about? Set free. You think Yeshua came to keep you in bondage. He come to set you free. But being so people don't know nothing about that, it's because they're not as free as they think they are. They're really not free. Because Yeshua, he came to set only those captive that came down here from the heaven. The sons of Yah. He comes to set them free, to place them in liberty. No one never asked the question, well, why did he say the narrow gate? It's narrow, and very few shall find it. Why did he say that if it was so, it will fool a certain people, but because it's not going to fool them? Why is he talking about a small remnant? Why is he talking about the broad gate that leads to destruction, and very many shall go therein? No one questioned none of that. It's because heaven has already signed you where you're going. All you have to do is watch your own talk, watch your own movement and how you act. Watch yourself, watch your flesh, because that's what's getting you bent to where you can't see that your spirit is not lining up as if it's going somewhere, because your flesh trying to make you think that you all that and something, and ignoring the spirit, which the spirit knows spirit and truth, but it can't hold on to spirit and truth because the flesh running. You see? So therefore, you'll know your walk. Like Sister Deborah, when I was telling y'all that he has already put the mark, they have already marked Ahayas in their forehead. Yes, he have. Yes, that's finished, y'all. See, a lot of us looking for him in actions in which we can see. And because we refuse to understand what took place before the foundation of the world, it's not that you refuse to see it, but it's come to set you free in your spirit. Because you can be in captivity here, because this here ain't going nowhere but to the grave. But if you set free in your spirit, you're free indeed. So many are still captive here and in their spirit. They have not been set free because their mouth telling them they're in liberty, they free. Their actions of their flesh telling them, I'm free, and I'm this and I'm that, and a higher. But you know what? Your whole walk dictate and tells the whole story in itself. So I really do. I thank the Most High for even allowing me to take the keys, to open the door, and to step in, to give the people the information that they may know the information and say, wow, this is the way I feel. I'm free. You mean I'm sitting here having people to tell me this, and heavens already have everything orchestrated, designed? You know why? People never, not a church alive, want to turn the power, not turn it, but give the power where it's due, to Ahaya. No one wants to give spirit and truth to where it's due, Ahaya. No one wants to set their light free in them, because what? The light that's in Ahaya has to rest in them. But they don't want to see Ahaya being the light. They want to think that they're the light. But you can't be the light until the light has lit you up to be the light. You see, everything that we're doing, we're looking at ourselves. And let me tell you what part of us, our flesh. We labor in our flesh to have all this gifts of the spirit, and your flesh ain't got no gifts of the spirit, baby. It's what's in your spirit that carries the gifts of the Most High, Ahaya, not your flesh. That's why people think that because they talk, because they feel, because they see it this way and they see it that way, they got it in the spirit. No. Your spirit has the gift. Your flesh has to be under the subjection to your spirit to be able to bring those gifts to manifest. And when it manifests, let me tell you, your neighbor's gonna know about it. Everybody in your house gonna know about it. Your family is gonna know about it. Your co-workers, your friends. because that's that light that's going to shine no matter where you go, whatever you do. Yes, Satan gonna always be at your heel, but every time you're gonna crush him because you realize that this light that's in me is greater than Satan at my heel, and I'm gonna stamp on bruise his head every chance he get, because it's something in me that's in my spirit that's greater than him picking at my heel, and I'm gonna crush his head every chance I get. You see, so we're in a situation where we're really thinking that, oh, I don't need to know this, I don't need to know that. But let me tell y'all, I was going down the highway and I saw from the county to the city, grass so tall, trash all over the place. Now this is in the county where I would say the Negroes reside. And then straight through the city, trash and grass. And I was like, they put that female Negro woman in to be the mayor. They know if they put us as a position, we have the tendency of doing anything and everything they say. They can control the money, every actions that's taking place in the city. And I sit back and look at the county, and I've been to what? 4 different fast food places today, not to buy, to see, is this really what I'm seeing? If you see how nasty all the places are getting, how trash on the lot, a serving window is filthy and dirty and black. You can't even see the cashier through the drive-up. I mean, it's just that it's everywhere. And it's getting there, not just in the area of where Negroes stay, but in the other areas, because people don't know. Babylon has already fallen. Babylon fell a long time ago. People just too ignorant in their flesh to realize that Babylon has already fallen. Babylon was sold out. They said how would I call it? The system sold this country out a long time ago. Okay, let me tell you when. Like in 2004, it was fully sold out. You remember when they was getting that stipend from China? It was sold out then. You remember when they gave everybody a stipend that was from China? It was from China because China gave them the money. So I said from China. Okay, you remember when they had started the foreclose 2008, taking everybody's property? Y'all didn't know they were selling them over to another country. Those that's over there overseas, that the other countries, they were selling these houses to them. This country has been in a chaos long time ago. So what it leads me to understand is it's going to be exactly the way it is biblically in the book state. Everybody gonna think everything is fine and dandy, then chaos gonna hit. But the part that's very powerful in that chaos, it's gonna hit you like a brick crashing on you, because everybody think they just gonna be able to live this way, and when they come, I'm gonna be knowing it's coming, it's just gonna come up on. No, it's gonna hit you where you wasn't looking for it to hit you. You see, now when it hit that flash gonna be already, flesh gonna be out of mind, ain't gonna know what to do, don't know if you're going or coming. Because what I see, I already see the system is already ready for the crumbles of this country. The crumbs, it's gonna crumble right before your eyes. There are people on the devil's platform, YouTube, and they teaching people to focus on white and black. They teaching people to focus on white and black. If a higher already said how he's going to deal with us, them, and everybody else, why is it we have to be drilled that this thing is about a racial war or racial, even though that's going to happen? But when we start to just listen and be drilled in our flesh, white and black issue, which it is. But when you are set free and you're in liberty, you'll know. I'm going to tell you this, which y'all don't know. I'm going to tell you this that you all do not know, because the Hebrew Israelite ain't going to tell you. That's the difference. When what took place before the foundation of the world, everything was already founded in HaMashiach Yeshua. Then you know that power brought everything into Yeshua, the sacrifice, before heaven and earth was created. So if Ahia did this, and I'm like, wait a minute. Then I'm like, Reverend said, even the Gentiles, you mean to tell me we're running around here excluding people, and you did that already from the heaven? That's why he wanted me to do the deep study about belief. Belief, faith, belief and faith is like left and right hand, right and left hand. They shake hands with trust, but they are gifts from Yah that was already orchestrated to come down on us during that time period. When he told me that the Gentiles were already in, so we can go and teach they're going to be grafted in. No, baby. That's for the flesh to get some sort of idea. That's why he said, study to show yourself. Don't you show nobody else. Don't you show nobody else. He says, study to show yourself approved. Nobody else. But when you're doing your study, rightly divide the word of truth from what? The word that is not truth. And if you do that, when the Ruach comes, he will teach you all things. Even that which you rightly divide, he will teach you. Because when I put that video up, there was a great sorrow in me afterwards. And I asked him, what was that about? He said, because I told you. I gave you the keys, you put them in the door, you open it, and you told them. But except I allowed them to see, except I allowed them to hear, they still cannot. I said, so it's just as clear as crystal. See. But those who going to see them, going to see it, they're going to see it crystal clear. Those who hear it, they're going to hear it very clear. So that part there made me feel good, but it also allowed me to kind of feel sad, because it was enough information to really let an individual know where they stand with Yah. In that day, in that particular day that video went up, it allowed each individual to see, okay, now, if he did this here before the foundation of the world, what do that mean for me? You mean I ain't got nothing to say? No, you don't. Because I'm like, Gentiles ain't getting in nowhere. I said that, y'all. And that's why he told me you gonna have to study. I said, ain't no Gentiles getting in nowhere. And I even started studying being grafted in. Them being grafted in, and don't be boasting against the branches. Yeah, I was cutting up. I was all in it. Then he dropped me in faith. And he said, you know what faith is? I said, no, I know faith is a great gift of yours, Father. Then he said, well, Deborah, I want to let you know, belief is too. So the Gentiles ain't gonna just get in because they believe in their flesh. The belief is when I lock in their spirit belief. That's how they get in. So we're running around here, oh, it's what we believe and what we understand in our flesh and what we say. No. You can say what you want. And the biggest thing, like I said to you all, is when that time comes, and it's here, Sister Deborah can see it just as clear. When them bricks start falling on you, and I ain't talking about like bricks from a house, but the everyday system, what the system has prepared. And if you don't find yourself in liberty and free, you're going to be just as loony as a loony bird in your spirit and in your flesh. You see, it's time to know. Are you counted? You remember Moses came off the mountain and what they were doing, all kind of things. And the Ahiah told him with Aaron, and he said, you all grab your swords, and anybody that's on, in a sense, who's on Ahiah's side. When you had a great number, I think it was more than 3,000 on one side, and Moses and them had, I think, a smaller number, but he said, told him to kill. Ahiah said, Ahiah told Moses to take the sword and kill even their partners. In a sense, they're not their partners. It didn't say partners. It says it's their spouse, but whoever. But it's really what he was saying. But they killed women and children at the charge of Ahiah. Y'all don't know who y'all really dealing with because you failed to know him in spirit and truth and who really he is. Why would y'all do that? Why would y'all have Moses and them to kill that great number of people he brought out of Egypt? Brought out of the power of Pharaoh. Why would and that wasn't the first time, y'all. That wasn't the only time he had him to do that. But I'm just still saying. Why? Because you all don't understand. The count has already been counted in the heavens. It don't faze him because he had to charge Moses to destroy by the sword those that he walked over the sea when it was parted to the wilderness. Moses had to take him out, and that wasn't the only time. You see, why, Deborah? Why must Ahiah? See, no one ever sees him like that. No one understands that he is not one to be played with. So if we want to walk around here and think we holier than thou, and we got it all laid out, who he is, what he is, and so on and so on, I'm gonna tell y'all better take off them clown clothes. Take them clown clothes off and put on something that's sincere. Because when it all said and done, he already got your number. See? So I'm gonna show you another example. If your name is already written in the Lamb Book of Life, you tell me when was it put in there? Nobody in the live can answer that. Because if you did, you still have to bring your flesh down to grip the fact that heaven had already signed everybody in there that came down here that belongs to him. See, that's the power of the message was, in a sense, going back to my title, this is it. And that's how you get set free down here, is to understand heaven had already freed you. You don't have to buckle up to Sister Deborah. You don't have to do things Sister Deborah's way. You don't have to walk like Sister Deborah, talk like Sister Deborah. You don't have to act like Sister Deborah and nobody else. You don't have to dress like Sister Deborah. Just live that life that's blown in your nostrils, and you live. Because all this stuff that's going on, y'all stay away from it. It means nothing. And as the time go on, guess what I see him doing? Backing more into the darkness and taking you all with him. Because if you think for 1 minute that it's time for you to learn your history, you go and learn your history. Don't get caught out there. Don't get caught out there. Because history can't save you. History don't have you in the Lamb Book of Life. In the Lamb Book of Life. History don't have you locked in the heavens. History is for the earth. History ain't for the heaven. Ahiah got his history. He already nailed it and told us throughout the beginning to the end what took place before the foundation of the world. I ordained you. I predestined you. I knew you before you was in your mother's womb. Just telling you who he was. And we said, forget that. Then here come Yeshua saying, my father this, my father that, my father this, and it ain't me. It's my father. We are one, and my father gave me this. All that you've given me, I have not lost. Constantly telling people, this focus is always Ahiah. But no, we want to believe what the people on these platforms say. I see people on here trying to get Negroes against white. Somewhere in their spirit, they hate white people the way Ahiah says that there's going to be a perpetual hate that they're going to have. Why is it we trying to crank up that same hate? You see? Because when darkness comes, you do all kind of nonsense mess. It's not important that we start feeling toward a people the way they have felt toward us. Why? Because y'all already prophesied what He's going to do with them. So if you are in them, then you're going to be judged according to the way they are judged. Why? Because you all in Him. That's what He's meaning. Come out. Just because they're this way don't mean you desire to be this way or you want to be the way that they are. You see? When we understand in Ahaya, there is no color. There is no color in the Most High Ahaya. That's another thing when I was speaking on that 3-hour video. There's no color. I found out so many. I was on that video, and I found out so many things. I was like, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that video. Oh, I like that. Because it made sense. It brought me back to when I was a young girl and all this stuff was being put in me. It made so much sense that He gave me even more as I was speaking it. There's no color, y'all. That's why this body we in, we're not going to be in this body. We're not going to have dreads, y'all. We're not going to look like we look now, y'all. We're going to be changed. We're going to be like unto Him. And what is He? A spirit. But we're going to be like angels, a spirit. We're going to belong to Him. So what makes us think Negroes going to be up in heaven? What makes us think that Negroes are going to be in heaven? Somewhere along the line, it doesn't fit, you guys. It doesn't fit. They want to tell you and make these pictures of who Ahaya looked like, who Yeshua looked like. None of them was alive when He was here. Not one was alive. So this here in which they're doing is a part of deceiving and manipulating people. Everything that's going to return to heaven, guess what, y'all? They're going to be spirit. So I don't get it. Why we are so focused on the natural down here. Now, the things that they're doing, are they doing it? Yes, yes, yes. But when the Father asks me, but what about your people? Are they doing it? He said, now, are you going to say they not? Or are you going to just be telling me, are they doing it? I'm asking, and you know what I had to say? Yeah, Father, they doing it. You know why He's saying that? Not because He don't see it. He just want me to stay firm and bold in the walk of righteousness and truth. That's all. I want you to remain in righteousness and truth, no matter what. Don't let nobody put a color thing between you, because you know I deal spirit, Deborah. I told them people, don't come to me with no other way but spirit and truth. You can't worship me in your flesh. I don't want no part of your flesh. So what is that saying to you? Because He's spirit. He wants to deal with your spirit. That's where He said, you abide in me and I abide in you. He talking about your spirit. 99.1 trillion don't even know they got a spirit. Because they have been deceived for so long, they tend to believe that which many have taught them. Don't get locked up in all this racial stuff, y'all. Y'all will bring you out. But if you get locked up in this hate, and you get locked up in this hatred, why would y'all bring you out and you being hateful and destroy them? And you matching them. Do that make any sense? Don't let people tell you this thing is a white and black thing. They want to tell you this is a white and black thing, but not a flesh and spirit. Y'all said this thing that we're trying to defeat is not flesh and blood. He's letting us know that this thing is beyond our flesh. But we want to make it flesh and blood. We want to make our hate toward different other people flesh and blood. Come on now, I ain't just talking about heathens and Gentiles and Europeans and China. We got to get out of that. We are the light. We're supposed to stand out and make a difference in the world. But how we gonna make a difference is we just got a hateful heart as they do. We constantly keep talking about whites this, black this, whites this, black this, and guess what? Heaven's sitting here saying that. Where are they getting all that mess from? Why would he say that? Because in me, there is no color, Deborah. So where they getting that mess from? You see? Sister Deborah didn't say that. Ahia says that. I deal with the spirit of man, not with the carnal part of man, flesh. This thing ain't flesh and blood, Deborah. This thing is spirit. The enemy is kicking our tails because we ain't recognized the war is spirit. And the only one going to defeat it is the one who already won. He wants us to understand that. You already set free. How he going to come do something to you and I got you in the Lamb Book of Life? Furthermore, I got you in my bosom. So what can he do to you? What can he do to you? What happened was, let me tell you what happened. They felt that if they told the truth, y'all, if they told the truth of the matter, which is spirit and truth, that you already have received what Ahia has for you already. When they say that, you already received, Yah has already received that. That sets you free to where you ain't under captivity to no pastors, no bishops, no evangelists, no teachers, no prophet, no prophetess, no Maureen, no seer, no watchman. You're not in a captivity. You're not under them. You're no longer under them, y'all. Why? Because you're learning how heavens have orchestrated everything. You know, how he has designed it. And he never designed it to where we have to answer to flesh and blood. You get what I'm saying? Let me give you another example. You know how he said, now I ain't gonna say he said that, but do you know how they say woman's supposed to be submissive to man? Y'all don't have no problem with we living that way in the flesh. But y'all say, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Deborah, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Now, what she needs to be focusing on is how he walking with me in the spirit. And if she see that he is walking with me in the spirit, she hear that he is walking with me in the spirit, she better walk her butt with him. You see what I'm saying? And learn. You see, this is how it should be. You don't get under submissive to somebody who have not submit themselves to a higher power, which is a higher. You do not be submissive to a man that has not submitted himself to Yeshua HaMashiach, and Yeshua HaMashiach along with a higher. You can't, because you'll be submitting yourself to what? Flesh and blood. You see? And they won't teach you that because they feel that we got these big old mega churches, people are submitted to us. And when they look at them, guess what they submitted to? Their flesh. They're not submitted to anything else because their spirit is not submitted to a higher. So what are they submitting to? The pastors, the bishops, flesh. And so as I sit on this here YouTube, I see all the women and men. They're wanting people, they're wanting their members to submit to them. They wanting their members to bow down to them. They wanting their members to honor them. They wanted their members to see them as the answer of the leader to a higher. But it's nothing about them that's walking in spirit and truth. They walking in the flesh and they want you to lead them. They want you to follow behind them. They want to lead you. And then they sitting here saying, well, you have to be submissive to your leader. You have to be up under a leadership. No. Use a lie from what you call a deep-rooted pit of hell. You are not to be up under anyone that is not up under Yeshua HaMashiach. And HaMashiach, which is his right-hand power, have ushered the Ruach HaKodesh into you. You ain't got no business submitted under nobody that is not totally submitted under spirit and truth. That is the Father himself and the Son. You ain't got no business running your butt behind them, trying to do what they tell you to do, dress like they say, feast days, party days, drinking days, and all of that. Why do you think it talks about in the last days how they're going to be feasting and gathering and drinking and all of this stuff? Because he knew they're going to line you up in believing that that's really what it's about. But how are you going to come together to do those things, but you ain't coming together to know spirit and truth to set the captives free in their spirit? Don't be behind people. People have been on this devil platform for so long, and they are not teaching nothing that has to do with spirit and truth. They only teaching their flesh understanding. Like I said, their flesh wisdom and their flesh knowledge. They're not leading you all nowhere. Yah has already led you before the foundation of the world. And then I began to see, I said, wait a minute. I said, Father, I'm kind of saddened. And I said, I feel real sad because not only did I open the keys, I stepped in the door, I gave them a look at what was inside. But Father, Yah, it's all up in this book telling them what I'm talking about. He said, see? He said, see? That's why he's not coming, y'all, to give you. And see what happened. This is what happened. When you get sick, you get ill, your children, your husband, your wives, your grandmother, your mother, and all these issues start coming, then you don't want him to come up and do something. He ain't coming, y'all. He ain't coming. Okay? He's not coming. Go to Revelation and see if he tell you he's coming. He's not coming. He already said a heavy judgment is going to be in the house of Israel. You see, the church first. Well, he's just letting you know. He's getting it right. Everybody else, he gonna kick to the curb because everybody is role playing, clowning with these people on all these platforms. This was the Father's will that this come forth, these platforms, so that it can separate the wheat from the tare. And it done an excellent job. It's a lot of things that's going on, you guys, that is not the will, the righteous will. There is a righteous and an unrighteous will. You bet. The righteous will is going according to the Father, and the unrighteous is going according to the Father. It's walking his thing out. And I can see it. This is it, y'all. And I know many would take it very lightly, but it's okay. It's okay. Because like I said, once he gave me that, when he gave me that okay to give those keys, to use those keys, that was good for me. I died to everything else. To the fact that people can go in any direction that pleases them. Being set free is already in the hand of the Most High, not Sister Deborah. Sister Deborah got to keep running the race until the race is over. You see, until it's time for me to, like what Paul said, I fought a good fight. I finished my course. Until my course, I have finished at the finish line. Let's put it like that. I'm going to continue to run the race. Whether I go on the highway or byway or on YouTube or anywhere, I'm going to continue the race in which Ahaya has called me to. But I'm telling you all, you are free and free indeed. And only one going to accept that and believe that is those who are already written in the Lamb Book of Life. And do you know why one is written in the Lamb Book of Life? Why is it that those that he has sealed in their heads, so that nothing, you know why he sealed them in their head? Do y'all know why? You know why he already sealed them in their heads? Because he ain't coming down here to do nothing else. But ain't nothing that's going to take place going to harm them or interfere with them. See, because the angels was coming to, he had sent them on the four corners to do some damage to the earth, the trees, the sea, the land. And then he sent the fifth angel and told him, wait a minute, hold up. Make sure you go tell them to seal mines in their forehead before they do anything to the earth. You see? Because sealing you is to say, keep all the things he's about to allow to happen to come upon you. You're sealed. And if you rocking your tail around here, don't even know who you are, what you are, and really what is this lady talking about, when you just out there, and you're gonna make yourself sick because you're gonna be worried and going crazy because you ain't gonna understand the things that's happening. But when you're set free and you know that Ahaya had orchestrated everything from the level of the heaven. That means everybody that's sitting down here talking to you all, telling you yang, 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 they can't tell you nothing. And that's the way Ahia orchestrated it. That they can't tell you nothing. Because he had already sealed you. Not just a seal for us the protection for the land in which the angels were coming to do damage to, but they were sealed. But what I mean is in the Lamb Book of Life. All of that's been done. All of it. He said, Deborah, faith came from me. I put that in them. I put belief in them. So it ain't that the flesh is able to believe me. And it made sense. Because I was really up on that. I said, wait a minute now. Now I know faith is a gift. I know endurance is a gift. But what's this about these Gentiles they're talking about they believe and they just in there. They just grafted in. No, I wasn't with that until the Father told me you can't help but be with it. Belief is a gift from me. It's what I put in them, Deborah, that will return to me. You see? They will return to me. Because it's not a heathen, a Gentile, or a Hebrew Israelite got sense enough to uphold faith nor belief. That's why he says, greater is he that is in us than he that's in the world. Why? Because he is the commandments in you. You see? He is all that and some in you. And then what did he say? I'm going to hold you blameless. You go into the Bible. You can at least pull out 6 verses where Ahia is telling you, I'm not going to hold you blameless. Why? Because I keyed you in before the foundation of the world. So how I'm going to blame you for what I keyed you in too? See? It's giving the power back where it belongs to the one who orchestrated it all and designed it all, created it all, and let it all go according to his will. Now, what is his will? He has a righteous will and an unrighteous will. But both of them walk hand in hand. Ain't that deep? The Father's will, the righteous and the unrighteous will walk hand in hand. Why do they walk hand in hand? To complete the will of the Father. To complete the will of the Father. But what we do as flesh, we get down here and we think it's about us completing his will. We want to tell people, you're supposed to do this, this. You're supposed to act like this. You're supposed to talk like this. You're supposed to look like this. You're supposed to be this and you're supposed to be that. Well, wait a minute. If I'm supposed to do this, the way you say do it, what about what he has in heaven that already has orchestrated and ordered my steps in him? Wait a minute, hold up. Why do my steps have to be ordered the way you say it's ordered versus the order of the steps that was ordered before the foundation of the world was even created? Those steps were the real steps. Those were the true steps. So how are you going to tell me? And so this is what happened. Once Ahia did not allow people to know until the end, until the day we are in now. He never allowed people to know. He even told them to close the books. Say no more. He even spoke of the mystery that was hidden before the foundation of the world. All this stuff that I'm talking about, that's it, y'all. All of this is surrounding that. Until what? The end. The end day. Until that day. So Ahia been speaking on this level for quite a long time and been giving people all kind of signs. When you look up predestined, you look up ordained, I knew you, foreknew. You see, all of those there leads you straight to the heaven. It leads you straight into heaven. And then you begin to say, wait a minute, hold up. That sister wasn't lying. That sister wasn't lying. Ahia then orchestrated everything from the kingdom of his throne. And we down here acting the monkey. Feeling we got to control people. We got to force people in the ways that's pleasing to us. We got to get people looking like us, dressing like us, acting like us, walking like us. That's what the men are doing. And they got the women What do you look like with your dress all the way to the ground? The Bible speaks of that like sackcloth. That's what the Bible speaks of it. Like sackcloth. That's exactly what it looks like. What are you hiding? You all wrapped up from you see over in other foreign countries, they don't let the woman nothing shows but her eyes. You think you're going to escape these men that been raping these babies? Those children are not wrapped up. You think because you wrapped up from the floor up that it's going to stop these men from having Satan? Satan don't care what you got wrapped up. But Satan do care what you got wrapped up in you, which is the spirit of the Most High at its fullness. Oh, that's what he's afraid of. So we're so busy trying to prepare people to look a role, to play a role, to act a role, and appear like we want them to appear, just so they can make us feel like we somebody. And we are nobody, because we're still doing the same wicked evil that we done in time past. This crime and stuff, you hear people talking 1 minute. They're talking about, oh, they bothering us and they doing this to us and they doing this to us and they doing this to us. And then the next minute, we over there killing this and we doing so many crimes. We doing this and we do. Wait a minute. What is it going to be? Either you're going to lie or you're going to lie like you've been doing. You're keeping it up. You're trying to get people to see that another race is doing something to you. And then you're still hooping and hollering about what your own race is doing to everybody else. I'm just lost. You see how? Why? Because it's all about getting you all to tune in, like and subscribe so they can get a check. It is not about to bring you into liberty or to bring you into the walk, spirit, and truth with Yah. Yah wants you to know you are free and you are free indeed. Stop letting people put you, don't let people in your co-workers. Don't let people in your church, in your group, in your neighborhood, in your family. Don't let nobody tear you from the Most High Ahia. If Ahia is leading you in a way that it seems like everybody's against you and everywhere you go, that it's just you best bet you somebody, because Yah saved you just for himself. And he'll make everything around you have nothing to do with you, just to keep you where he wants you to be, because heaven got you locked in. And he don't find them worldly to be even connected to you, because you are holy in him. So a lot of people don't know that. They run around here trying to figure out everywhere I go, my family like this, and they do oh, they doing this here, and they do. Yes, they doing that. They know their spirit know who you are in Ahia. You just ain't figure it out. They're supposed to, because 2 angels came down. 2 angels was placed down here out of the power of Yah's right hand. The ones that was going to join Satan and the ones that Yeshua was going to redeem back. Why? Because Yeshua was slaughtered before the foundation of the world, and you was already redeemed back, said the Most High Ahia. And he called it through Hamashiach Yeshua. I thought that was beautiful, because Hamashiach is his power. So he telling you the blood, the power already brought the blood in you before the foundation of the world. You already locked with it. So when you came down in your mother's womb, that's what he was talking about. I knew you before you was in your mother's womb. I knew you. I predestined you. I ordained you. I foreknew you. He was just telling you, I did you. You is mine. I did you up and I did you down. So when it all said and done, you running around here saying, if I do this, I'm in there. If I do this, if I dress this way, if I eat this way, if I look this way, let me tell you something. That's for the flesh, y'all. That's for the flesh. All Ahia wants you to do is feel free in your spirit. Set yourself free. Because he don't want nothing but your spirit. He ain't got nothing to do with your flesh. You eat a dog, that's on you. That's your flesh. Because once you eat that dog, It's connected to you going to the bathroom, bringing it out, and whatever stick with you, sticking to your flesh. Ain't none of that spirit. So why are we so busy trying to tame this flesh and forsake the thing that's going to stand before him? That's written in the Lamb Book of Life is our spirit. No, they're not going to tell you. In the church, I always used to think, y'all, when I was a teenager, I used to think, why they won't tell people that they already, why don't they try to tell the people that heavens has already orchestrated his will? Because it allow you to look at the pastor and see he's a liar. It allow you to look at everybody on this devil platform and see who's a liar. Because they're trying to tell you the things that controls your flesh. They're not trying to prepare your spirit, man. They're not giving you spirit and truth. Now, if they was giving you spirit and truth, they might not know a lot. But if they giving you spirit and truth, they know enough to give you the spirit of the truth of the matter. Ahia said, I am a spirit and you worship me in what? In spirit and in truth. So why are we not working on that end, but we working on how to dress like they tell us, to eat like they tell us, to walk like they tell us, and all this other stuff that we feel that's so important to our flesh, and we have forsaken everything he has given us in the spirit realm so we can see. And this is why I was really sad. When I uploaded that video, I realized, let me tell you what I did, child. I realized, oh, Father, I opened it all the way up. I put the key in, I opened the door, and I opened it all the way up. It's no way they cannot see unless you give them the eyes to see and the ears to hear. But Father, the sad part that I had, and the Father knew it, was that, guess what I found out? As I was teaching it and I got off, I felt sad. Guess what? Everything I said was already in the book. That's why he said it don't matter, Deborah. That's what he was saying all the time. It don't matter, Deborah. What you mean it don't matter? Because it's already in the book for them to know this. What you telling them? It's already in there. How did they miss what it said? Here you come with the keys. A prophet is in the wilderness. Come with the keys to unlock the door so they can go in. And guess what? I felt sad because I sat back and I said, wait a minute, Father, y'all. Everything I just said is already in that book. As clear as a kindergarten story. And he said, that's what I was trying to tell you. Unless I give them the eyes to see and the ears to hear, because it's already been present before them and they still couldn't see it. So you giving the keys, and the keys represent the truth, the spirit and truth of the whole matter, so that people won't be in captivity to their church and their mooring, their watchmen, their seers, and their pastors, their bishops, their apostles, and their evangelists, and their prophets, and their prophetess. Don't be in bondage to none of us that's called with a holy calling. If we ain't walking upright and explaining things to you, spirit and truth, run the opposite way. If we coming left, you run right. If we coming right, you run left. You run to the face of the Most High and say, okay, Father, this old hen on this YouTube was talking some stuff about what took place before the foundation of the world. And Ahia will show you every scripture that said the same thing I'm saying to y'all now. And that's what made me sad. What made me sad was Ahia allowed me to die to the fact that everything I said was spirit and truth. But guess what, Deborah? It's already been out to them for thousands of years. You tell me, ain't that deep? That's deep. In a sense, if what I'm saying has been there for thousands of years, I come along as a prophetess in the wilderness and give it to you out of the keys that the Father has given me to open the door, to break it down in a time as this. And what happens? That means sadness, y'all. It's sad for y'all. It ain't sad. It's sad. I was sad because when he was showing me Everything you said is right there. I said, but Father, what do that mean? I was so sad. That means you're in trouble. Not Sister Deborah. And that's where the hurt is at. Because what he's saying is, they're looking for me to come in the form and in a way that they flesh desire. They flesh look for me. They flesh desire to see me and hear from me. I done came not only through the book and gave them the overseer of what it is. You done came as the prophetess with the keys to the kingdom, like Paul had, not Peter had the keys. If they didn't see all these thousands of years I had it, you come in the year 2022 and give them. This is showing me how lost the people really are. That's what it's showing me. And that's what's sad. Because I say, so the narrow gate has a reason to be narrow. That's why. The gate has a reason to be narrow. The small remnant has a reason to be small. I already knew that because that was his will, that it's set up like that. But to feel that you can be on this devil platform, Sister Deborah been here 1,000,000 years, and what he said, 1,000,000 years still wouldn't get them to see. 1,000,000 years would still get them to hear. Because his is already marked from the heaven. His is going to hear it. His is going to see it. You see? So he said, like he said to me before, don't put so much on yourself. You was called for a time as this. Just like I said, I didn't think I would live to see this day. Because he had given me so much, y'all, to where I was like, why you keep giving me all this stuff? What am I going to do with this? They ain't preaching it in the church. They ain't saying nothing. Nobody on TV. Nobody talking like I'm talking. And the things you giving me, they don't know nothing about what you giving me. They don't understand what I'm doing. And when it leads to, narrow is the gate. You already know the way there. So this is what that even said, the narrow gate. A lot of people look at it as if a person got one subscriber and another person got 5, they'll look at the direction of the 5 because they'll say, surely this person is righteous. And y'all, the narrow gate represent the one that has the, and that's where you need to stand, because that's, you see, and that's what I say. I was so sad because he was saying, I told you I'm not coming to give them people allowed to do that. But I told you, Deborah, over and over, I'm not coming to bring revelation to these people. I'm not coming to deliver them to say, see this and see this. What you just given them is what been in there of thousands of years, and they still cannot see. And they still will not hear. The whole 3 hours. And get and jot down the information so they can be able to know it when they're running, when they're dying, when they're in pain, when the family is suffering, somebody in their family is going through the healing and everything.